Good morning, honorable members.
When youth from across the Caribbean met in Saint Lucia for Youth IRIE convening,
honorable members,
a key agenda item was energy transition.
I rise to introduce the draft resolution on sustainable energy and climate justice.
A youth parliament held as part of the Saint Lucia hosted conference advanced a conversation on the Caribbean's imperative to lessen dependence on fossil fuels.
Together, let us make history by adopting this resolution. Let it be known that in this defining moment, we chose courage over complacency, action over inaction, and justice over indifference. The future of our islands, our people, and our planet depends on it.
The focus began weeks before as the Caribbean Climate Justice Project, which both the Youth IRIE concept, held a series of webinars to sensitize youth on the concept of energy transition.
So what is the energy transition? Essentially, in one sentence, a movement from a fossil fuel-based economy towards one that is based on renewable energy sources.
Most of the electricity used in the Caribbean is generated from fossil fuels.
Both the webinar and the Youth IRIE convening highlighted the abundant sources of renewable energy in the Caribbean. They all bring very distinct advantages.
It is sustainable, it will not run out, it costs less for maintenance because the energy that is produced is from natural sources. It also has a lower environmental impact and reduces the production of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases.
5 key sources of renewable energy have been the focus on renewable energy resources in the Caribbean.
1. Biomass energy. 2. Hydropower energy. 3. Wind energy. 4. Solar energy. And geothermal energy.
We can use innovative mechanisms such as things like green hydrogen, which is coming out now and taking a foothold in the market.
It can be used for electricity generation, energy storage, the production of ammonia and fertilizers, which of course would be very important for our agricultural industry. It can also be used in transportation, shipping, aviation, motor cars.
We can also see things like utility scale wind projects, battery technologies. All these different innovative technologies can be used within St. Lucia and actually maximize the use of the energy sector.
We can look at marine energy, wave, tidal energy is still in nascent stages, but it holds significant potential for island nations.
Any questions, comments?
The Youth IRIE convening brought together experts in the field of energy for a deep dive on the imperatives of a sustainable future. But what is energy transition? And why should the Caribbean explore the possibilities?
Energy transition is a set of changes in energy production systems and distribution and consumption patterns really meant to bring about sustainability.
Essentially, it's a shift from one dominant energy source to another. And the modern energy transition is particularly characterized by a shift to low carbon sources of energy.
The general sentiment was that total dependence on external sources of energy was a frightening prospect.
This dependence has exposed our nations to volatile global oil prices, and it has undermined our energy security.
Many Caribbean islands have outdated electrical grids that are not designed to integrate renewable energy sources. For example, during hurricanes, these grids often suffer extensive damage, causing prolonged blackouts.
We're working to ensure that our utilities are well placed to be able to build resilient systems, etc. So we're training them, we're ensuring that they're learning from each other, and we're ensuring that they have the information and resources available to make the transition for energy.
Let's say we have a war going on in other parts of the world and we can't get access to imported fuel. We now generate our own energy and have resilience and sustainability in our energy sector, so our island can be self-sufficient.
We see a lot of people are now utilizing all of these green energy resources, and we're trying as an association and our membership trying to make the transition, of course, to clean energy solutions.
The time for depending on pipeline dreams has expired.
The production of fossil fuel is not reducing as a result of the increase in renewable energy production. So as you can see in the graph, it's really showing that the actual level of fossil fuel production has barely changed in the last decade.
We call upon all nations to endorse the accelerated phase-out of fossil fuels in all sectors and redirect those subsidies towards renewable energy and sustainable solutions.
It provides us with energy security and independence. That way, we're not tied to the importation of fossil fuels. We're not tied to the uncertainties of the market.
By harnessing our renewable energy potential, we can definitely reduce our energy costs, increase our energy independence, and create a more sustainable economic future.
Resilience is at the heart of this sector, and it really empowers us to not only take advantage of new and innovative ways of producing our energy, but we are no longer worrying about a Cat 5 hurricane that is rolling through, and now we have to wait for people to come in with aid. We can start helping and provide power from day 2.
The Youth Parliament stressed the need for urgent action in the transition to renewable energy, noting the need to involve youth at every level.
We are committed to engaging and empowering our young people in this journey, such as programs with the Caribbean Youth Environment Network and the Sustainable Energy and Climate Resilience Internship Program, which provides opportunities for youth to gain hands-on experience and contribute to sustainable energy projects.
So for the youth, what they should do is actually just study as much as possible. So use the internet, it's your greatest resource. YouTube, blogs, articles, try to read everything that you can find on this sector and pretty much align yourself with what your interest is.
Skills development, pursuing education in relevant fields, whether it's environmental science, whether it's engineering, whether it's law, whether it's media. We need more young people to continue developing their skills in these areas.
And you may not be a technical professional at the end of the day, but I encourage you at a bare minimum to participate as a citizen.
Building alliances with other activists and organizations, using your social media platforms for awareness and mobilization. All of these are actionable things that you can do as young people to get involved in the climate justice area and the climate justice space.
The industry has a vast amount of different sectors within it, and you can actually find your niche and carve out. So whether that be you studied science at school, you did electrical engineering up the Mon, or in any other part of the university studies, you can really see that you can implement every single thing that you could study within the energy sector.
This project first came about with consultation with OECS Commission, where they received funding to actually do a conversion of a minibus into full electric. We had the mechanical engineering students doing the design of the load calculations for the bus. Also, we had the refrigeration students that would be responsible for getting the refrigeration or the AC system up and running. We had the motor vehicle mechanic students were the ones very instrumental in ensuring that the suspension is right. So the motor vehicle mechanic students were literally the forefront of the project. As well as the electrical engineering students, they too played an important role. They actually came to ensure the high tension wires were secured. All the little wiring needed to be done. They ensured that everything was okay.
It expands your knowledge a lot. It can help you learn new skills, new ways to work. It means that you have to expand yourself to new courses to learn about the electric vehicles and not only gas and diesel, so you can be a better technician as well.
We have taken the bus around the island and it performed remarkably well with 13 staff members on board. We left on 85% charge and we came back on 30% charge.
I recognize the Minister of Public Utilities, the Honorable Amy Ramkissoon.
The Caribbean Development Bank estimates that transitioning to a 47% renewable energy mix by 2027 could save the region up to $9 billion in fuel costs and generate over 400,000 jobs.
This implementation would see a boom in industries, which will ultimately see significant reduction in unemployment. Jamaica's Wington Wind Farm has created over 120 jobs.
Effective policy is critical in ensuring the Caribbean stays on course for attaining energy independence. At times, the region has been too slow to capitalize on the possibilities from renewable energy.
We're catching up. I mean, it's been a 10-year wait, but I believe that the governments now have seen the impact of the sector.
Governments are enacting policies to incentivize renewable energy investments, promote energy efficiency, and facilitate the integration of clean energy into our grids.
And the policies now are supportive of these mechanisms to enable people to invest in innovative projects.
Transitioning comes with its own challenges and opportunities.
Caribbean young people, we are doing the work, we just need money.
So for me, one of the biggest challenges was just getting access to finance.
When we look at climate finance as measured both from the Climate Policy Initiative and from the OECD, it shows that there's an upward trend in climate finance.
So I had to travel all over the world just to get access to resources, and I got investors in the French Caribbean.
So in terms of the sources of climate finance, we have several multilateral funds, the biggest of which is the Green Climate Fund, and it provides financing for adaptation, mitigation, and cross-cutting issues. And this is the one that most of the countries of the Caribbean and seeds are trying to tap into.
I haven't seen a set definition for what the just energy transition is, but this is how they define it. They share a common theme of fairness, inclusivity, leaving no one behind, avoiding inequity. The first tenet is distributional justice. In the procedural tenet, just looks at including all stakeholders in decision-making processes. Recognition justice refers to free, fair, and honest representation and acknowledgement of diverse perspectives. The fourth one, which is sometimes added, restorative justice, simply refers to the correction of past historical injustices that have been carried out.
So getting now to the Fossil Fuel Non-Proliferation Treaty Initiative itself, it is based on these three pillars. Firstly, a just transition, coming up with provisions that would provide help to countries to move their economies away from fossil fuels. Secondly, non-proliferation, so we need to stop making the climate crisis worse. And thirdly, a fair phase out, so a phase out of existing fossil fuel production that would limit warming below 1.5.
The region is blessed with an abundance of renewable resources. Energy transition is a definite possibility in the Caribbean region, and youth have a critical role to play in this development through the use of technology and in particular, artificial intelligence.
I mean, the great thing about generative AI or artificial intelligence is that it really empowers you to be faster, be more efficient, and also allow you to do things cheaper.
Economic independence is heavily linked to energy independence. Youth too can become entrepreneurs and job creators in the renewable energy sectors. The Youth Parliament called for youth to get involved.
We have to forge partnerships. We cannot do it alone, especially with international organizations, private sector stakeholders, and regional neighbors to share knowledge, resources, and best practices. We need to support and accelerate our journey towards a sustainable energy future. Let us prioritize investments in clean energy infrastructure, support policies that promote renewable integration, and continue to educate and empower our youth. Because together, we can build a Caribbean where energy is a catalyst for economic growth, environmental stewardship, and social equity. By advancing sustainable energy and climate resilience, we not only secure our future, but also set a powerful example for the world. Thank you.